What's going on, people? Now this is going to be rallies that I actually was able to do. Now shout out to Grims here, because he was able to record this. Even though I was the one rallying, I actually didn't get to record it myself, just because I was just focusing on rallying the target. I didn't really care too much about recording and whatnot. So yeah, definitely appreciate Grims for sending me this video. But this is a target from SL Magua. And I believe, if I recall correctly, he had around 8 million troops or so. And he, for some reason, was offline for quite a while. Now, this was a while ago. I just hadn't gotten around to actually editing this. But this is going to be a double rally with Are You My Dad and myself. Now, the first two rallies are going to be both cavalry rallies, because we knew the formation he was in, and his composition really wasn't that great. So, two cav rallies was the best way to attack it. Now, we were actually on a call, and if you're ever a rally leader, or if you want to lead successful rallies, etc., especially if it's going to be doubles and triples, get on a call. It's so much easier to plan things, to make sure that you got timing correct and all of that. So here was the idea. The idea was for you, for Are You My Dad to hit first, followed by me. Now, it doesn't really matter if it was out of order a bit, because they were still both cavalry. But we wanted to make sure that if he does come online, he barely had any time to heal in between rallies. And as you saw there, I mean, there was literally like half a second in between. That's why communication is key. And take a look at that. So we were able to hit 5.7 million, killed 2.8. I believe Are You My Dad actually got captured on his rally. But he hit, if I remember right, it was like 8 or 9 million troops. But because his hit pretty much cleared everything, we were able to go ahead and burn him and return him his leader. So that's what we were able to do. Now, it gets a little bit trickier here, because now his front line is gone. But does SL now reinforce his front line or his back line? What I mean by that is, okay, let's say that you're in infantry phalanx, right? And you just were hit with 2 cavalry rallies, wipes out your infantry in the front. So if you're rallying, you might think, okay, we gotta go range, because we're gonna hit cavalry, then range, and whatever, right? The thing is, if his guild decides to then reinforce him with infantry still, even though he lost all of his infantry, you're still going to be hitting the infantry that they're reinforcing. And that would mean that if you do go all range thinking that you're going to hit cavalry, you're going to be countered, because you're going to be attacking that infantry first. So that's why it's a little bit tricky the first go around after you clear somebody's front line, because you just don't know what they're going to be reinforcing with. Now, when you have a double rally, it's not as bad, because like here, one can go cavalry, then the other one can go ranged, and it's pretty much GG no matter what. But in this case, we didn't really know what they're going to be reinforcing with. I had an idea that maybe they were going to start sending in infantry in order to make sure that if we do go range, they do counter it. But if that was to happen, then we make sure that we got a cavalry rally going and then a range rally going. So that was the thought process behind this one. The other thing is, does he come online? Because at this point, we were watching him for quite a while, and that's something that a lot of people fail to do nowadays. Like, you find somebody unshielded, you find their scout, and then you just go rally it right away. But that's an easy way to trap you, because you don't know if they're actually online, if there's any activity, etc, etc. So, you know, it is what it is. So if you find a target, at least watch them for a bit. Now, this guy we watched for quite a while. Now, what made it a little bit more difficult was that he did have anti, and he was holding prisoners. So we didn't know if he was a rally trap. We didn't know if he had like way too many troops. But once we saw that there was literally no action, no helps change, nothing at all from this guy for like well over 12 hours, we decided to go ahead and take a gamble. So let's go ahead and this is a rally here that also we don't necessarily need to time, because we saw what they were reinforcing with, or the lack of reinforcements, and we knew exactly what they were sending. And that's another quick tip. If you rally enough or are in action enough, you can tell what somebody is sending just by seeing how quickly they move. Like, I can see when something is cavalry, ranged, or infantry, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. So the easiest way to combat that, for instance, if you're reinforcing somebody with cavalry, people are going to notice that that's walking way too fast. So the easiest way to do that is to just send one infantry troop, just one, and that is going to make the walk time the longest, and it's going to make it much harder to guess what you're rallying with. That's something that a lot of people just fail to do in Wonder Wars, etc. Like if you're going all calves and things are just moving way too clicky into your rally at the beginning, we know that you're going calves, you know. Or for instance, a lot of times when we know that they don't really try to hide what they're sending and everything is moving super slow, we know that you're sending infantry. But if you sprinkle in a couple of or maybe just the one infantry troop into your marches, they will never be able to guess because they're all going to look the same. They might think that you might be going infantry when in reality you're sending cavalry. So just a little tip that I see a lot of people don't really use, and they don't really use to their advantage. But there we go. There goes the two rallies. The first one is going to be me. It's got 311, and that's a hit. And unfortunately, we weren't able to clear it completely. We only got 1.3 dead. But My Dad was actually able to go ahead and clear the rest. So yeah, I think this guy went from like 370 or so to 0 essentially. So yeah, he was able to get the leader, although he was really only hitting 900,000 troops, but it is what it is. That's finally, there's a rally that somebody doesn't shield on me. It sucks because a lot of times when I try to get a rally off or you know, try to get a rally going, they shield. So unfortunately, that's why there's not a lot of rally videos of me rallying, because usually they shield. Now I'm gonna go ahead and jump over here to this next rally. Now this one I did record, and I'm gonna go infantry wedge. I'm gonna be sending cavalry, and this guy was offline, got Ares, and his composition was really nice to hit because it's one of those compositions where you get the scout and you see that there's plenty of troops, but not enough troops to actually like capture you unless you just completely mess something up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna port over and I'm gonna rally, but let's be honest, the dude's gonna shield. Like, that's just my luck with these kind of things. And actually it's becoming a meme in the freaking in the freaking guild, like, oh, Ava's here, they're gonna shield. But yeah, fortunately for me, he did not shield. So we got about 50 something seconds to go ahead and get this rally off. Now this one I didn't really check phalanx. I don't even think I used a size boost, and you guys know why I didn't even use a size boost, because everybody usually shields. So I was like, look, I'm not gonna waste my gems on size boost when, first of all, I won't be needing it, and second of all, he's probably gonna shield anyway. Now we got Chills that ported over and gave him his leader. I'm guessing that TBD and MK are allies, I guess, but that was definitely nice of him. But yeah, we got 20 seconds to launch. Prisoner or not, this guy, if he does not shield, was going to get hurt. So we got 10 seconds, and I think everybody else sped up to specifically get there right as the rally's about to walk. So with about 5 seconds left, that's when I usually go and change to army attack, because even if they get my scout off, it doesn't matter, it'll be too late. Change my gear, my phalanx was already correct, didn't have to worry too much about it. So he goes from 222 to a lot. He lost quite a bit. He got 61 million lost on that one, and the only thing that's left is range. So you know what, let me go ahead and get my leader back real quick and send a full infantry hit, because now everybody's going to start looking at the report and all of that. And while they do that, I'll go ahead and make sure that I speed in there and take that leader. Didn't care to change phalanx or anything like that because it wasn't that important in this case. There we go. Took that leader. Looks like Chills also was trying to get the leader, but take a look at this nice little solo hit. We got, what, 547 dead just on that one. Minus 15 million might. Ouch. But that's what happens when you're just pretty much getting cleaned up there at the end. And I can go back right into my anti-scout because, you know, I don't want these people to zero me. You know, you got to be careful. So, yeah, let's take a look at the initial hit, though. He had 3.5 million troops, which is like ideal for me. It was like, wow, even if the rally doesn't hit, we don't lose nothing, but if the rally hits, whew, you are going to be hurting. So yeah, it's a bunch of T4, some T3, some T1, for whatever reason T1, I don't really know why. But yeah, like I said, I do get some rallies off here and there, but you know, a lot of times people just be shielding and whatnot, and that can get annoying. These are older ones, and I do have a couple of more that I'm gonna go over. So I got like 2 or 3 more videos of rallies that I gotta get edited and post. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Go ahead and go through this report one more time, that way you see how much I killed there at the end. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and until later, bye.